Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Dive, where we talk about the latest news hitting the entertainment business. This week we got wins for Hulu, wins for Netflix, and quite a few wins for HBO Max. Also, a really interesting deal between Universal and Cinemark. What is it? Well, we're going to tell you all about it. I'm Andrew Burgess with Dolphin Image Studios. Let's get into the news. So the first one we're going to talk about here is with that Universal and Cinemark deal. They've come to an agreement to shorten the window that Universal has where they are not allowed to put their films on video on demand services post a theatrical run. This is an interesting time to make a deal like this, since between AMC and Regal Theaters, at least in the US, things aren't looking too bright, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with hedging your bets, and honestly, it's probably good to have a deal like this in writing anyways. Alright, next up we got a win for Hulu as well. Their latest film, Run, is apparently breaking a bunch of their streaming records for film releases on the platform, records that were previously set by Palm Springs earlier in the year. This is interesting because Run was supposed to release in theaters in a traditional sense. This kind of success on Hulu, we'll have to see if other streaming services, and other films for that matter, emulate this model. Spoiler alert, they will. More on that later. Anyways, the next news item that we're going to be hitting up is Netflix. They're expanding their investment in Albuquerque, New Mexico, expanding the ABX studios and committing to an additional $1 billion to spend there within the next 3 years. Investments like this are good for Netflix and also good for people like us who produce films. And if you want to know what we're producing right now, check out the YouTube channel. We should have some more stuff going up there very shortly. Anyways, point being, an investment like this from Netflix shows not only a commitment to the industry in New Mexico, but it shows a commitment to keep productions going despite the turbulent times. And a little investment here and there goes a long way. And finally, it's HBO Max's time to shine. This time, they're getting Conan O'Brien. Conan is ending his deal with TBS to start a 1-hour variety show for HBO Max. He could put out whatever and I'll still like it. Guy's super talented and super creative. What's interesting about this is that in a previous episode, which you can check out right here, we were talking about how certain types of TV shows haven't really transitioned into the streaming age. Maybe this is the start for how Tonight shows and Conan's show and shows like it are going to transition. Anyways, just an interesting development. But the main headline news, which you've probably already heard, is HBO Max is getting Wonder Woman 1984 on Christmas Day, the same day that it is hitting theaters. In this sense, it seems like Warner Brothers is treating theatrical releases and streaming releases as equally valuable, which, when you consider the amount of investment they're putting into HBO Max, it makes sense. Still though, Wonder Woman 1984 was one of the tentpole blockbusters that a lot of theater chains were counting on to make sure that they can stay afloat. And with it releasing on HBO Max on the same day, that could probably hinder that overall sales. We're just gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. Either way, got my fingers crossed for everyone involved, and I'm willing to bet that Wonder Woman 1984 will be worth the watch wherever you see it. And that's about it for the dive into the news, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoy what you saw, hit the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel and be sure to hit that bell button. That way you know every time we upload another dive or a deep dive. The entire playlist is right here, and we're going to be updating it every 2 weeks. I'm Andrew Burgess with Dolphin Image Studios, and I'll see you next time.